first time in 11 years, the Rider Broncs are participating in the NCAA tournament. Joining us live from beautiful Ruston, Louisiana, we got Johnny Volpe from Brendan O'Donnell, Sebastian Williamson, who are not only star Rider players, but also Sandlot legends from last summer. I'm excited for them. And guys, first of all, greetings from back east. Tell us what it's like down in Ruston.
Honestly, it's a pretty cool experience just to come out here and play in the warm weather. But first thing we notice is everyone's so much nicer here, so it really is cool to be out here.
We got first-class facilities here. You know, this is definitely a top-of-the-level NCAA organization that they have here. And not many people knew this, but there was a tornado that actually came through Ruston and destroyed their baseball stadium 2 years ago. So this is the first year that the Love Shack is operating, and this is also their regional here. So it's pretty cool to be a part of that as well.
Yeah, it's crazy for them, right? They didn't have a home field. Well, nobody really played much last year anyway, but you know, it's just a great thing for the town. And you guys said it sold out pretty much instantly, right? All coming to see Rider baseball tonight.
Yeah,
here for the Broncs.
All the Bronx, baby.
No one else.
So I guess we'll start with that experience. You know, you guys weren't even really allowed fans until that first kind of the 2 out of 3 with Niagara, right? You guys pretty much played in front of nobody all year.
Yeah.
What's kind of the thought of going from that to now, you know, 10, 11,000 screaming fans, probably, you know, maybe at least 10 of them will be rooting for you. But, you know, it just the fun of, you know, that college baseball that you see on TV all the time, you know, that, you know, the Power Five or even the Conference USA experience. Now you guys are going to get to be a part of that in the NCAA tournament.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool just to go from playing like maybe like 100 to 200 people watching, like max every single time, to now playing in front of like possibly 7,000 people. It's just going to be like unreal to like look up in the crowd and see all those people. It's gonna be cool.
It's definitely something that some guys maybe will struggle with at the beginning, is hearing some things that they probably never heard before yelled at them. Just there won't be, especially playing the host. We're not going to be seeing a lot of our fans, way more Bulldog fans. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. And Coach said something today in our meeting. He said that one of his players, back when they played the first regional, like treated it almost like they were cheering for him and not cheering against him. So it's like kind of like this, you have to try and flip the script, flip the thought process, and try and
it's noise, right? It's just energy, right? That's all it is.
Yeah.
So this one specifically here for you, Sebastian, because, you know, Brendan and Johnny are pretty much kids still here, not an old guy like you, but, you know, 5 years and literally, you know, going from Potomac State to playing some, you know, tiny, you know, JUCO programs along the way to finding your way to Rider to, you know, now finishing up really your college career in the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's got to be a pretty cool thing, I think.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I mean, we were through it. I mean, my first year here, we were through it. We weren't the best team. We kind of had some problems. We didn't win many games, but, you know, Coach did a good job bringing in the guys we needed. And I think we did a good job with the kids that were juniors when I came in. I think we really, like, came together and we're like, this isn't going to happen anymore. We gotta try and turn around. We gotta try and be leaders and not be okay with winning 13 games in a season. We gotta be better than that. And I think we did a good job. And I think it's really exciting to kind of go out on this note. And I mean, hopefully not just on this note, you know, try and make some noise here. And it's just a really good experience, really fun experience.
Kind of funny. One of the guys you've known the longest in your Rider family, somebody that you didn't really join Rider again until this year, and Sean McGann. You know.
Yeah, it's really exciting having him with us too. I mean, he's a great player, great leader, brings energy. You know, it's just he's been a good addition.
For my jersey, well, actually, actually Brendan's a PA guy too, but for Johnny, I mean, to rep Rider in the NCAA tournament, rep Jersey baseball, got to feel like, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling. I mean, I've been getting texts from people back home and all throughout the Shore Conference, just good lucks. And it's a really good feeling just to be here and just know that, like, all the work I put in is finally paying off. Just now I'm at the big stage and ready to go.
So crazy season, not only all the COVID stuff you guys have to deal with, but get off to a pretty strong start in the conference. Kind of in the middle, right? I mean, you know, you always want to go into the conference tournament with a lot of momentum. And you guys scored, I think, 4 runs the entire series against Siena going into conference. So kind of nothing there. And so what turned it around, you know, Brendan, or what could you see that really turned everything around from there to, you know, 5 in a row to get through the MAC, including, you know, beating a team that was like America's darling for the first 2/3 of the season in Fairfield, which is great to see them in the NCAA tournament too.
Yeah, so in the beginning of the year, we started off very well. I mean, dropped our last game in the 4-game series both times, and then played well again at Manhattan. But then we had a couple kids that came down with COVID, and then a couple, like Volpe over here, rolled his ankle up at second base and missed some time. Sebastian strained something in his arm. So we had a lot of guys miss time during the middle of our season. And not to make that an excuse, but when you have your guys that are hitting in the upper 200s, 300s, and guys going out there getting big strikeouts when you need them, it definitely hurts because you don't have that, especially against teams like Fairfield and Canisius when you need those guys. And then I think we just got them back at the right time, and they came back. It looked like they didn't miss a beat, you know, coming out and scoring 12 and 8 runs against Niagara instead of only getting 4 hits against Siena the 2 weeks before that. So I think that definitely helped us. And also just kind of getting that confidence back, knowing like, hey, we're the 3 seed, you know, we're here for a reason. We're not just some pushover team. Like, this is something that we truly believe we can win. And we just kind of started playing like that at the right time. And hopefully we can keep it rolling this weekend.
Seems like this is really a tight team too, you know, is maybe, you know, the last few years that might not have been the case with Ryder. But this group especially really seems like it's, you know, gotten not just resilient, but also really together right now.
Yeah, we really pull for each other, I mean, I'm excited when, I mean, you see it when Volpe came in to pinch hit. I think everybody had confidence that he was going to get a base hit to win the game. I don't think anybody doubted him for a second. And I think years past, we might have been sitting there thinking, I don't know if this is going to happen. But, I mean, to come in and pinch hit and everybody's I mean, we were all talking during that at bat, even that he got 2 strikes on him, and we knew the guy just bounced a curveball. So like, he's going to get that high fastball, the outside fastball that he likes, and he's just going to drop it in there and get a base hit. That's what he did. And we all
So what you're talking about there, obviously the semifinal, right? The second game in the conference tournament, and that was against Canisius, right? You guys were down early. I think Jordan had a big hit to tie it, right, at 2, and then fell behind again. So bottom of the 9th, you guys are down 1. Probably, honestly, if a game that if you don't win, it'd be really tough to win the conference tournament, right? They're not those tournaments aren't really designed to pitching wise to get through all those games. Yeah. So Johnny, you come up 2nd and 3rd, right? 1 out. Or I guess a wild pitch over to 2nd and 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Take us through that, because that's, you know, the biggest hit of the season at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was a cool feeling. It really was. But what happened to me at bat before was we had a kid bunt it back to the pitcher, and the first thing he said to me was, it was Brian. He said, "Just pick me up," and I said, "I got you." Like, there was no way I wasn't getting my teammates. And then what was going through my mind was like, this could be one of our last games with like our senior class. And like, we are all extremely close. So like, all I wanted to do was just pull through for them. And then the runners got on 2nd and 3rd, and I was just trying to do a job, shoot a ball the other way. I got the pitch, and it just kind of happened, you know?
And then one of the things that just kind of, you know, you see like bench clear, you know, walk-offs and the bench clears and that they, like, the intensity and the emotion of that, like, clearing was just like the fastest I've seen a group of guys like sprint out on the field. And, you know,
it was a close play at home too. We talked about it later. We watched the play and we're like, it was a little close. Like if they would have called him out, we would have had to we were already on the field by the time the ump made the call. We just decided he was safe. I just felt like the ump called him safe because he's like, there's nothing we can do at this point. The game's over. They're already on the field. We were out there quick to go get Volpe.
Yeah.
That kid got that ball off and right so well. I thought when he hit that, I was like, oh, that's in the gap. This game's over. I just jumped over the fence and ran on the field. And I know the ball coming home. I'm like, oh, I gotta slow it down here.
So then you get to the final and you get Fairfield. It's home run derby and former General Lou Priolo hits one, and Brian, who you mentioned on the bunt in the first game, certainly picked himself up with a big homer in the championship game, and Sean and you got the back-to-backs and as that game progresses and it's 7th, 8th, 9th, Cal shutting everybody down. When does it hit you obviously you're thinking, yeah, we're going to win coming in, but what point do you really go, where does it hit, that emotion of, yeah, we just won the match? I
mean, I was nervous the whole time because with that lineup, you
right.
never, especially with that field, the way the ball was flying that day, you never know. But honestly, going into the 8th inning, I looked at Cal on the bench while we were hitting, and I saw he was completely locked in, and I knew there was no way you going to touch him that day. He was just locked in, I hadn't seen him before, and I was pretty confident at that point, but still nervous. I mean, I wasn't fully confident until there was 2 strikes on Guerrero at the end of the 9th inning for Cal to put it away.
I mean, for me, I think it was when in the 8th or 9th inning, Pete, he's our big dog pitcher. He took off his sweatshirt and had his jersey on. And that usually never happens if Pete's not starting. So I was like, crap, Pete's going into pitch. Are we really going to win this thing? So that's when it really hit me that I was like, we're going to be MAC champs. We're going to get a ring. So.
Yeah. So I guess, saying that if this was a movie, right? The great start, and then right before, and then obviously the finish. I guess this has to go to Sebastian. What 80s movie are we talking about here?
A good start, a middle. I'm not even sure.
The movie's king.
I don't. Or sports movie. What movie would this be? I don't know. I mean.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. I mean, you could say – no, you couldn't even say the Rocky, the series of Rocky, but just kind of there and then that down where we kind of lost and then we back to the top, but I'm not even sure.
A little bit of a Rocky story to it, sure. So what's that?
That's O'Donnell show, All American. It's kind of like that. Highs goes all the way low and then they win at the end.
Yep. No, it's definitely a movie script kind of feel to it.
You could say The Natural.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of they were losing for a little, he was at the top of his game and then he got shot and kind of reached a lower point. And then at the end he got back up there and finished off, hit one off the light pole.
That's right. So maybe that's coming today still. Maybe the ball off blowing up the lights. I don't know. The last question. Obviously, the Sandlot prepared you for this. But really, what do you remember from last summer? And obviously, good times. But
well, first thing I remember from last summer was that I remember we were in the championship game and it was bases loaded and we had a 3-0 count. And all the batter had to do was get the run in because it was a tie game. No outs, 3-0 count, and somehow we got out of it. We got a strikeout, and then we got a ground ball double play, and then we ended up winning the finals. So, we were in the worst situation possible, and we ended up winning. So, just with that, adrenaline and that, thrill kind of just almost prepared me for this. So, I think that was just a great experience.
I was just grateful to be back out there. You always hear the saying, you never know it's going to be your last game, and I don't think any person in the world would have predicted that last year we would have played 14 games and, going into June, just being able to say, all right, here I go, I'm going to play baseball again is something that has kind of taught me to, never take any game for granted. You never know when that's going to happen. So you just got to play every game hard and just be appreciative of what you're doing. You're just out there having fun, just playing the game that you love.
I mean, it got me back on the mound. So
Yeah.
I think that's been big this year for me, at least, to get back on the mound and be able to help the team there. So
7 o'clock today, local time here in the East, 6 o'clock out there, ESPN 3. Watch Ryder shock the world, or at least Louisiana.
Yeah.
And best of luck, guys.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
Thank you.
Wolves.